So, well, I guess Justin, let us know when you're back there. Did I hit the right button? It's been so long. I did. Okay.
I might need a pretty deep refresh and maybe a little hand holding for the first few minutes just to
No
spin
problem.
me back up here.
Yeah, it's been a while, obviously. It was July 19th, I think. So 2 months. July 11th, actually, so a little over 2 months. Pardon me. Got a little bit of a cough, so bear with me. Ben and Becky, how you guys doing?
Not too bad. How about you guys?
We were just chatting, going through what, how we've been, but you guys weren't on yet, so I didn't get to check in with you. Oh, I mean, I've talked to Ben, obviously.
We don't live a very exciting life. We go to work, we go grocery shopping, we hang out at home.
Yeah.
That sounds comfortable and just like doing what you like doing.
Pretty much.
My littlest pup is scheduled for his neutering on Thursday. That'll be fun. He's doing great, though. He's a healthy little guy, so I don't think it'll be any issues at all. How's Iggy doing, guys?
Oh, she's a tiny terror, but we love her.
It's funny, too, because when I had her that night for, with her and Beans here, like, she just was brutal to him, just biting his ears and like crocodile, death roll spinning, that kind of stuff. I just couldn't imagine her being that, that like she's still very sweet, but with him specifically, she, because that is her brother, you know what I mean? Like she grew up with him, so it was funny just how sweet she would be the rest of the time, but just, as aggressive and mean as she could be to poor little Wally.
Oh yeah, she's that way with Rufus and the cat.
A cat's a little tougher. It's a softer target for tearing ears off and stuff. I was really concerned. Well, not really, but a little bit worried that with that death roll, if she got bigger and still did it, she'd end up yanking at least a chunk of ear off.
Yeah. She's not too bad unless she starts to turn into a gremlin. Her play growls change, and then she's being too rough.
Mm. Well, speaking of, Wally and Esther are playing at my feet right now, trying to chew on Harold too. Harold's been getting a lot better lately. Like he's lost 5 pounds now, and he's actually able to make stairs again and stuff like that. Like he can, he's a lot more mobile and more playful again, which is really nice. It's, I mean, he's 13 and a half. Like, we don't have him for a whole lot longer, but it's nice to see some kind of his old self back. Esther's 9 now. Like that's just crazy to me that she's even that old. Yeah. Oh shit! Sorry, Justin. I didn't see you said that in chat there. All right. All right, so you're eating your food, I assume, Justin. You're able to hear us.
Out of the pot, like a hobo.
All right, and throw it in a bindle when you're done.
I didn't want to waste time putting it in a bowl, so here.
All right. So the date, I'm going to drop that in the chat because we are jumping ahead a little over a week. Geez, dogs, can you hear them playing?
A little
bit of breathing. Nothing too crazy though.
Okay, as long as it's not disrupting. All right, so we're jumping ahead to Fires Day, 19th of Fogloom. It is noon p.m. I'm going to do a brief recap here, and then we'll get started. But where we left off, you guys, after assassinating... Okay, that was a bit loud. All right, hey. After assassinating Masetsu and narrowly escaping the crumbling necropolis that you were under, you helped bring Teravar to the Ossuarian throne in Vabi and saw him anointed as the new Khan there, which that's the... I was going to do, we were going to play through that portion, but just to kind of jump ahead as much as we could here. We're kind of skipping some of that. But that did release you from the contract that you had and any further obligation to protect him, so you don't have to worry about that portion of it anymore, because that was what you guys needed to do. That was what your guys' goal was. So assuming that none of you was going to attempt to, sabotage that, you managed to successfully complete that. Hey, knock it off. That's enough. All right. As you had hoped, Teravar's first royal decree was the cessation of hostilities with the Empire, and peace talks that were scheduled are still upcoming, but they're basically scheduled for very soon in the future here. The summit is expected to take place at the Crow Fort, And as the Natural Ones have become both respected and trusted by the Empire's forces under Commander Pepperjack and the Nuvabian ruler in Taravar, your presence has been requested at the negotiations. So it'll be, kind of a summit too.
Decline?
What's that?
Oh, great.
We decline, or do we have to be there? Like, does everyone else? Does anyone like not want to be there? I feel like we're not going to help. That's all.
Well, that's you are close friends at least, and well trusted allies. On the leadership on both sides that will be doing the negotiations there. So your presence had been requested, as I put it. If you guys want to try to decline, you're certainly welcome to do so. They will likely put quite a bit of pressure from two different large nations to try to get you there, but you're welcome to do as you choose. That said,
golfing at Mar-a-Lago that day.
Yeah, you might have more important things to be doing. But that said, the diplomatic arrangements take time to process, of course. So you've decided to fly the Sevastopol north to the Tower of High Sorcery at Hyrith, hoping to complete Sarah's test and use that to implore her patron, the Archmagus Corin Xantalis, to assist you in infiltrating Hood's path inside of Sorconnell, where you believe the Wood Sage's chorus to be. So kind of using this to, kind of buy your guys' or buy some assistance, because you do know that Corin Xantalis happens to have entrance via gate, via a couple of methods of gate, very advanced spells to be able to get you into a complicated place like that.
What
what's up,
about
Fox?
the plan to give the Aussie and team the whatchamacallit from, I think one of the wizards was taking the one spell that we used to defeat the, oh my gosh, what was his name? Sect or something? Sek?
S-E-K-H?
Yeah, Sek.
Go
So
ahead.
was somebody taking the, what was it? Where's the name?
Do you mean way back from the beginning, the Ancient Gate Scroll?
No, she's talking about the thing to put somebody else on the throne.
Yeah. Because we had said, like, that way there, like, when Ozzy and them need to, they could use that to get onto the throne if anything goes bad with
So that's that. Well, it's good that you remember it, but it is it will very likely come into play at a later point. It isn't relevant.
At a later point. Okay.
Yes.
I was just wondering if like we're putting it that we did give it to them.
You didn't yet. You haven't
Just
seen
yet.
either
Okay.
Ozzy or Corin Xantalis since. In fact, actually, I didn't mention it yet, but Ozzy has been missing for some time now. At least your attempts to contact him for the few days before the last session that we played, which was the middle of the week previous. Basically, you haven't talked to him in about 2 weeks at this point, and he hasn't responded on over your guys' Rocky Talkies or anything like that. So for all you know, he's still out there, but you haven't had any communication with him. There has been, though brief, communications with Corin Xantalis specifically to give you directions to get to the tower and some other things. Sarah, they weren't vital. I didn't write out the text specifically, but if you had other, because the things you had written previously he had responded to. So if you had specific questions that aren't already addressed, then let me know and I'll give you his reply. But yeah, he knew you were coming basically and told you to come here to the tower. So the travel here. Any further questions on that before we pick up where we are now?
No, just wondering to know where that was in the thing.
Sure. Anybody else?
I think I'm good.
All right.
Yeah, Progo's just going with the flow.
Okay. All right. So the travel was brief and eventless. You flew the Sevastopol up to this place here, but what you found on arrival was puzzling. The location that Corin Xantalis has provided to Sarah through the telescription was abundantly clear. He gave you, very precise directions. You were to find a thick ring of dark, foreboding trees in an otherwise unadorned plain, and the tower should have been there, but only where Corin Xantalis had described this jutting, oily black stone tower rising from the center of those woods. There is no tower; it's just the forest. So you instructed Nazim B to cloak the Sevastopol. I still had Nazim B in my notes, but I remember there was discussion about his alternative name. I think that was what was settled on. There was Mazan and a couple of others, but anyways, that's who I'm talking about, the clone of Nazim, or one of the other clones.
Did we ever talk about not Zim? Just not Zim?
That's a pretty good one. I don't think that was on the list, though.
No, I think it
Sounds
was his
too much
name
like not
backwards.
Yeah, it sounds too much like not Zim.
Oh, shit.
Yeah,
Sorry.
this is his name backwards, yeah.
Ignore that. I hit that too soon, but that's fine. I didn't mean to actually bring you guys over to this. I was trying to preload it, but doesn't matter. All right, so yeah, he directed you to this forest here, or to what was supposed to be a tower in the middle of the woods. There's no such tower. So you instructed Nazim to cloak the Sevastopol and hover nearby, and you made your way down to the ground below and then into the edge of this just completely. It's very dark. The picture is a decent depiction of it. It's just extremely thick forest, but there's obviously more to it in that there's less light making it down through the canopy than you would expect. So you've kind of reached the edge here of this very unwelcoming, copse of trees. It isn't very big from above, like what you saw there. You should have been able to walk through in a few minutes' time, but you've already been walking through the woods more than that, and it just keeps getting more and more dense. The coverage of collapsed foliage and leaves and so on along the pathway makes it very difficult to discern where your pathway is leading. But you're wandering your way through the woods, and further in you go, becoming more and more lost as time goes by. What are y'all doing?
And I'm looking through my spells. I don't think I have anything that'll help.
So the place was supposed to be here, right? Wasn't it supposed to be here?
I mean, this is where he told us to go. So, gotta be here. We just have to find it.
Maybe we just have to yell his name out.
Do you still have... I don't think that'll work. Do you still have that, like, orb thing or whatever when you first joined us that allowed you to, like, see shit that wasn't there? Did we ever look through that to see if there was a tower?
You know, I don't actually think I have it. I think I put it in, it's either in the bag or I gave it to someone else. I traded it for the Pearl of Power so I get a little bit more magic. It was an eyeball I got off some weird creature, but I think it might be in the bag.
I might have it.
Right.
You know what it was called?
I think it was a gem of true seeing or something like that.
Yeah, Gem of
Sound
True
right, Bogo?
Sight.
True sight. Okay.
Gem of True Sight.
While we're kind of walking around, can I just detect any type of arcane magic? For instance, some form of an illusion of some sort?
Sure.
As we're walking
Make
through?
make an Arcana check.
I'm also gonna poof Noctua out and send her, like, further ahead.
Okay. With that check, Nazim, this place is so densely wrapped, and I would tell you that you would have sensed a certain amount just passively anyway. Anybody with any amount of arcane awareness would sense very dense Raconidus throughout the woods here. The trees themselves are infused with it. I'll tell you that although they are shuffling a lot, they are clearly animated, but they are not alive. They are animated arcanically. Dogs, chill. I'm gonna have to separate beans here. Sorry, Wally, knock it off. All right, but with a 24 though, there we go. It is very dense, and it is. I'm going to describe it as folded in on itself. Like there are layers and layers and layers here. There is much that is being hidden. It's not. A tower could be amongst it, but probably, the mass of that tower times maybe 10. Everything is hidden here. Like there's what you're seeing is being probably multiple layers of illusion on top of it. Noctua flying ahead. Go ahead.
I do have the gem, but somebody would have to attune to it.
It would take you an hour. Noctua flying ahead. Make a perception check with her, Becky.
Are we sure there's not like a magic words? Did he give you a magic word? Can you check back in your scrolls? Maybe you got a word that you're supposed to say. Sometimes they like using words, these wizards.
As usual, Sarah, the scroll deleted itself after you read it, so it's empty now.
Sorry, I completely missed what Justin said because the dogs are being assholes.
Mine were doing the same. I heard him. I heard Justin fine, but mine were plagued. They've calmed down for the moment at least. Oh. Beans is
actually
just under 6 months
try
old.
To make a like a high, make a hiney ho, and see if something happens.
Artemate, you hear a shuffling up ahead. There's Noctua's wings, kind of gently flapping, which there's plenty of, ambient noise in here, but having heard Noctua flying away, you kind of knew the direction she was heading, and heard her wings flapping slow, as if she's trying to hover in place, which is difficult for an owl to do. So she's obviously stopped at something. You can't pick up what just yet. And Sarah, I don't remember. Can she communicate with you automatically? Or is it something you have to do? I don't remember.
I actually don't know. Let me look and see if it says.
What did you pick her up from? I don't remember.
I don't know.
Is it it might be the Find Familiar or something like that, in which case you can communicate with her.
Yeah, it is. It's the spell.
The Find Familiar, okay. All right, so in that case, she tells you that she found something, and she's stopped, and you can't hear what she's hearing, but basically trees are moving in front of her, and she's kind of darted away a little bit to find cover, because she was, expecting that it would crush her.
The trees are moving up ahead, guys.
No, I mean, that's not really that crazy, right? What does it mean, though? Let's see. Sadly, I do not have a spell that lets me speak to plants. Maybe we could be friends with a mastermind of Elvis Towers this week. See, here's the thing. I think it's probably hidden, right? Can we all agree it's somewhere around here, but just, people can't see it? That makes the most sense to me. But maybe trees know where it is.
I mean, we could try. I do have tongues.
I don't think that will work.
No.
I can speak. Are there any dead?
Well,
are there any dead bodies anywhere? I can. This is the thing. I can talk to a dead body. I can't talk to a tree. So it's
You've yet to see any corpses of animated or sentient creatures. I'll put it that way.
Maybe even if there's a dead animal, someone could give me the ability to speak to a dead animal, then I can speak to the dead, and then we can work our way around that way.
You need comprehend languages on you, and then speak with dead. What you looking for, Fox?
I'm just examining the wildlife and the plants.
Okay. Plants are a strange amalgamation here of the natural world and things that have been so deeply infused with different magical energies that they've been effectively mutated into kind of hybrid versions of what you might otherwise see. There's a lot of there's plants that are glowing that shouldn't be glowing, like you recognize this particular fern that shouldn't look like that, but it's got kind of unique spikes and things like that on it, kind of alterations for flora and fauna you'd be used to seeing here. Nothing stands out though as helpful in this manner in locating a missing tower.
Drawing these plants from memory.
Okay.
I'm gonna go ahead and get my
Pietro.
Son Pietro back. Yeah, okay. And then that way when he gets here, we can fly around. And
okay. I will tell you that
time to change our spells, right?
For sure, yeah. You've had over a week, so I mean, if you want to adjust things, and I will tell you that obviously you guys knew, you as players didn't, because I was adjusting it on the fly here, but your characters did know that you were coming to a dark forest where you're going to be going and helping Sarah with a magical test of some sort. So if you want to adjust those things to things your character would have found appropriate for that, to go right ahead. Obviously, don't meta it to the point where what I'm telling you right now, but.
But if one of you wants to speak with plants, perhaps a druid.
How did you know that's what I was looking for?
The only class that has access to every spell every time you go to sleep.
Seriously.
Mm-hmm.
Also, so I'm going to cast light. I'm gonna cast light. Do the trees seem to not like me casting light? They seem pushed away by it, or are they coming towards me?
So they come towards me. It is so dense in here that you probably are soon would need, because the further you go in, the more dense this gets. So you probably would need light of some sort anyway. But it doesn't. The trees don't seem to care. I will tell you though that the shadows that you're seeing don't look right. Like you either Norok walking next to you, his shadow might look really tiny for some reason. Yours might look more human size. Like it just the shadows are completely wrong that are being reflecting onto the trees around you. Are you going to continue along the path?
I mean, sure. I'm still waiting for Pietro. It takes 10 minutes for him to get here.
Yeah, that's fine. If you're taking the 10 minutes for that, that's fine. I was just curious what's going on there, because Noctua trying to hover stealthily, 50 feet up the path around a bend isn't very far away. In fact, actually, Arteme, with that perception check you rolled earlier, there is a quiet slump, and Sarah, you feel her disappear.
Okay, I'm gonna go a bit forward towards her, but I'm still messing with my spells.
Meaning Arteme or meaning Fox is messing with her spells, or is Arteme trying to prepare
Fox
something?
is messing
Okay.
with spells.
Got it. Cool.
Well, I guess if we have 10 minutes left, I'll bring her back.
Okay, sure.
We're waiting.
All right, so you sit down at the censer and fill it up and burn the incense and all of that. Wally. All right, then if nobody else is doing anything, the 10 minutes passes. You hear Pietro's call from above the canopy. There's a screech as he's trying to kind of awkwardly fall through this dense, tree umbrella above you. And it almost doesn't want to let him in. You see the branches kind of thwacking at him and then reaching for him as if he's trying to, fight off a living creature. Though, like you,
If I see him
assuming that
fighting them off and not able to get down, I'm gonna go ahead and have him keep flying and just keep an eye out.
Okay.
So
All
I
right.
struggle.
Okay, then you tell him to make his way back up. From above, he is reporting back to you that he's seeing the trees. As soon as he's moved away from it, they kind of blend like fingertips together, like if you're clasping your hands together, the branches just kind of braid themselves, weave themselves back together.
Okay.
You can
Well,
still get a small amount of light coming down through it, but it's clear that this place is not intended to allow visitors.
what a spooky place, everybody.
Arteme, I'm sorry, Sarah, Noctua reappears next to you.
Okay. I'm just gonna keep her on my shoulder.
Okay. So 10 minutes has passed. Pietro's flying around. What are you guys doing?
I mean,
Sorry.
Go ahead.
When I look around, do I see? Is there any animals, squirrels, birds, any of that around?
Yeah, there
Within earshot
are.
of me?
Yeah, so there's quite a bit. Like it is a dense forest, and it looks and feels like one.
Okay.
Well, I didn't do that. It's an automatic one from Speaking Plants, I guess. But turn that down on my side a little bit.
that was fun sounds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Holmes.
I was just gonna say, can I please find or I'll find whatever the closest bird or whatever that is around me, and I'm gonna look at it and actually just ask it, just in talking out loud, and ask it. Pardon us, but could you please lead us to Corin's Angelus by chance? We can't find this tower.
Okay. Make an animal handling check. Arteme, if you want to let me know what it is you're asking of plants.
Hang on, sorry, my mouse went to sleep.
Sure. Is that Iggy? Jeez.
Yes. She has got the highest pitch.
Yeah, that is so high pitched. Yeah. Thankfully, Beans is starting to get his more adult voice, but
No.
I stepped away for a second and I thought that was Jeremy doing a DM voice for some sort of critter.
for a squirrel or something.
I got a little thrown off. Yeah.
Well, Holmes, you find a squirrel who has these two lines of like razor sharp spikes down its back. almost like chipmunks lines, but they're little blue spikes sticking, like glowing blue spikes. And you kind of lean down and ask it, and it looks up at you, and it lifts a hand up, like one of its front paws. It lifts it up and covers its eyes while it's looking at you, and then it scurries off into the woods.
Damn. All right, it was worth a chat.
Okay. I'm gonna be asking the plants about information about like the area and the weather. Like
Let's
what's in
see.
the area.
Should also
and
let them know that none of us are carrying axes, so they should see that we don't use axes. We're not
Well,
axe.
one of you is actually carrying a giant throwing axe that is
Oh,
like
fuck.
enough to take one
Get
of these
away!
trees
You're
down.
scaring the wildlife.
and
Get in the
ask
bag.
where like the path is or where the tower should be.
Oh, okay. All right. So the trees for the initial questions, the areas, there isn't much answer. They're not, like I said, these aren't living creatures, but they are well, sorry, they're not sentient creatures. They are plants. So you're not getting, verbal speaking. You're getting the actual speak with plants response.
Yeah, I get the limited sentence and animation.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. So it does respond to you about what it knows about the area is very limited. It's just this, this dense forest here. Everything's peaceful and quiet. They very rarely get visitors. Usually, when they do, the visitors are disturbed and frustrated, and they kind of chuckle to themselves as the people that get lost in these woods get wandered around. Eventually, sometimes they fall over exhausted and die, and then the trees just kind of absorb them for nutrients. So they're pretty happy about that. The weather, nice and shiny and clear to them. They're at the top, so in here doesn't feel like it, but up above it's still, it's sun. Like it's noon right now. Like it's bright and warm out. It's not raining or anything. Like I said, it doesn't feel that down here, but up there it is. And then when you ask about the path, there isn't a like a not a verbal response, I guess, but a physical one. The tree begins to kind of lift its roots as if it was ambulatory, as if it had feet. Lift its roots up a little bit and shuffle to one side. And as it's doing that, the other trees that are surrounding it, the other ones nearby along this one side of the path here, there's this kind of unnerving shuffling in the trees. And you turn and notice that all of them around this tree and kind of surrounding you here are beginning to kind of shake and shiver a little bit. And there's this shower of leaves and detritus that are falling from the trees and kind of falling all around you and kind of obscuring the path yet further. As the shifting subsides, you realize that they were kind of gently moving to block the path that you guys were just on, and now instead it's revealed a path that headed off to the left, which you guys have kind of lost your sense of direction a little bit, but this would be north, revealing this kind of previously unseen path. And standing on that new path, maybe 10 yards ahead or so, is a towering hooded figure, humanoid in shape, is just looming in these murky shadows here. He is a giant of some sort. He's impossibly tall. Otherwise, he's 18, maybe 20 feet. He's clad in rags with like strips of moss. Skin looks like old bark. It looks like he doesn't move a lot. Like he kind of stands there long enough for moss to begin to grow.
Sorry, I didn't know it was going to make such a loud
It's
noise.
all right. So, okay, I don't think, well, you guys have adjusted it before, but for me at least, it sets it right back every time I reload the server. It's either environment interface or sound effects. So if you guys bump those down, you can probably bump them down to like, 20% or 25% or something like that is probably appropriate. After we bump to the next version, I'll see if I can make those things stabilize and save between one update and the next so that they don't, adjust the volume levels anymore. So this giant, though, that's standing there not moving, he is where his eyes and nose should be. There is only this smooth like patch of pallid flesh that has been sewn onto his face, as if there's like a patch of skin that's been sewn over where the nose and eyes would be. And then below that is just this kind of raw and toothy maw. He carries a big, battered, half broken shovel that's the size of like a galleon oar. It's like a massive ship's oar. It's huge. It's much taller than Norok even. And he has it kind of balanced heavily over one shoulder. As you guys are staring at him, he begins to kind of slowly, ploddingly walk toward you. And the earth kind of beneath his feet begins to kind of recoil away from his steps, like the branches of the trees and everything begin to would be scraping up at his shoulders for as tall as he is. They kind of push themselves out of the way of their own accord, leaving to him approach you unscathed. He stops where the trees kind of had split, basically right where the edge of the path had been previously, and he's now just standing there motionless, just this eyeless face kind of staring at all of you.
I would like to just step in front of the party with open arms and greet this creature with a fine good day. And I would like to say what a pleasant time to be in this beautiful forest. And perhaps you would be inclined to help us find a certain individual who presides over this area in a rather large tower. It's only official business, and I promise you we were invited.
There's a voice creaking like an old door creaking, and he says, "Is that your purpose?" Looking directly at Pogo.
Our purpose is to simply get this lovely young lady, and I'm going to point to Serafina. In fact, I'm going to use her name, Serafina, to, what's her name, Horizontalis? Just double checking here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll put it in the chat for everybody.
Just getting her to the lovely Horizontalis so that they could have their meeting. It's all been predetermined, and she's just showing up. So, if you could help us on our way, we would very much appreciate it. Or perhaps give us a clue or point us in the right direction.
And he looks at Sarah. Is that your purpose?
Can I make an insight check?
Yeah.
While they're having this conversation, I'm just politely going to ask the plants about their unique attributes.
All right.
I'm curious, okay?
Sure. No, that's fine. There is a gargantuan giant that could pick you up and bite your head off without even need to roll for it. And you're like, hey, let me just ask these plants what their unique attributes are. That's fine.
Well, yeah, because you said one of them had spikes and it shouldn't and stuff like that, so I'm just asking about that because that was part of my questions before this happened.
That's totally fine. The plants, while you're communicating with them, it's a little bit hard to hear because this, the booming voice of this, 20-foot tall giant nearby. They're not quite sure what you mean by their unique attributes. They know what but they only know what they are. I guess they don't really know what a regular tree would be like, if that makes sense. I will tell you that
I'll show them a
from
picture.
All right. Well, you show them. There is puzzlement and bewilderment. I will tell you that if you're thinking what their potential alchemical uses and things like that could be, you'd have to take samples and try to experiment with them. We can jump back to that though if you want to continue that line there.
Yeah, I would ask them permission and thank them for their help first.
Sure. All right. Make either nature or maybe medicine. I'll let you choose. Sarah, what specifically are you looking for with that insight check? Are you trying to suss out, his intentions? What are you looking for?
Yeah, I'm trying to find out if this guy's if I give him a wrong answer, if he's just gonna try and kill us.
Huh. Okay. I mean, that's not a bad roll for that. What's that, Sako?
Answer the questions 3 type of situation.
So, I mean, at 18 is not a bad roll, and the impression you get, Sarah, is not far off from what Sako said. I will tell you that you get the impression that he's not a violent creature necessarily, but he would have next to no trouble wiping all of you out very quickly. Were it to be, were it to turn to violence, it would be, a second thought. It wouldn't take a second thought. It would be very simple. But he isn't intending to. He's not hostile. He's just has a job to do. And his question there of that stating your purpose. He's asked you and you haven't responded yet. But that is he said it with a certain tone that tells you it is very important to him that he gets that answer and that the answer is truthful. So he took the answer from Pogo, and Pogo said that he's here to help you, and then he's asked you, and now he's waiting for your answer.
I am Corin Santalis' apprentice, and I'm here to take my test. I'm just looking for the tower. This is where he told me to go.
All right. Fox, I'm going to send you a note here for your recovery. You can add that.
Kind of sad that Jeremy doesn't think we could take out a giant shovel.
Jeremy doesn't what?
You don't think we could take out a giant with a shovel? I think we passed Jeremy.
Well, okay. If the plants in this place are infused in such a way, you can gather that this, creature is also similarly enhanced, and he's protecting much more valuable things than your little band of adventurers here. So, but also, I mean, from a narrative standpoint, just for the fun of the game, yes, you guys are 18th level, but like there still has to be challenges. You know what I mean? Like there still has to be things that could beat you. Otherwise, it's really not very much fun anymore. So, anyways, the response you've given him, Sarah, he seems satisfied with that. He does take the time though to then go to Norok standing next to you, in your purpose.
Also assisting Seraphina to meet Corinzantilus
Okay.
along for the ride.
And Nazim, he looks at you. He kind of leans down towards you, looking at your interesting face with his giant, fleshy, stitched-on face. And your purpose?
I'll hover as high as I can possibly hover and say the same thing. I'm in a supportive role to our group.
And he does the same to Artemy. And your purpose?
The same.
Fox, yeah,
Same
you
with
can go. You
Sarah.
can put that you gathered a handful of seeds as well. We'll say from varying different plants, and you can experiment or study them. All right, then he returns to Sarah after all of you have said that you're effectively said that you're here to assist Sarah with her test, and Sarah gave a answer that he seemed satisfied with. He says to you, "Prove your purpose."
Purpose?
Show him a trick.
We're just a supportive role. I'm going to
There's
start
got to be
high-fiving everybody.
some sort of cool magic thing that Corazantilus knows about.
He was only asking Sarah to prove her purpose. The rest of you gave satisfactory answers that you're all here to help her, and he asked her to prove her purpose. Not that you guys couldn't, but that's who he was asking, was Sarah specifically.
Okay. What the fuck do I have? What am I gonna do? What do I have? I have features. Nope, that won't work. That won't do anything. My purpose. Did I get any spells from Corinzantilus? I'm trying to look through them.
Yeah, you got the headache one that gives them disadvantage on concentration checks, and you got, was it you got Shadow Skin? Your Shadow Skin came from him. You got a
Oh,
few.
yeah.
You got like 3 or 4, I think.
I'll put on my shadow skin.
Okay.
Yeah, the creepy one.
He doesn't react when you do that. Your shadow skin kind of envelops you. All of you hear her voice kind of go all deep and spooky like. It doesn't move. He doesn't phase him. He's still kind of waiting for something.
You were part of my test.
What if I give her jazz hands next to her, like, ta-da!
Get advantage on your shadow skin. What did you ask if he's part of your test?
Yeah, I'm asking him if he's a part of my test.
You had a gift ready for jazz hands, Justin? Come on.
No.
What the fuck? I mean, all right, as a bard, sure. I guess it could potentially come in use, but he doesn't respond.
I just kind of look at everybody. My purpose is just to take the test, so what the fuck am I supposed to do?
I mean, why does he want you to take the test? To do something more? Have you been chosen for some higher purpose? I don't know. We really should talk more often, I think. But
it's so that fucking cult doesn't come try to kill me no more, because then I won't be a danger to anyone and everyone.
Is he doing this is Corazantilus doing this out of the kindness of his heart to help you, or is there something he wants you to help him with?
Of course there is.
Well, maybe
there was
that's
a
old ass
chrono
wizard.
inversion spell too that you learned from him.
What was that, Fox?
The chrono inversion spell.
That's what I was looking
Yeah, you got your all the wizard spells you have came from him because he gave you via the scroll of telescription what they were and you copied them. And your shadow skin came from him. I think your shadow knife came from him if I remember right. You have I can't remember the name of it, but you had one that gives them a headache
think
and gives them disadvantage on
the
concentration checks.
the shadow knife came from the little black dot on my hand.
That's right. I'm sorry. Yep.
That's when I got that one.
Yep.
That and dark.
Shadow skin came much later, but yeah.
I mean, yeah, there's stuff that he wants from me. He wants me to go help him take down an ascendant, right? That's
There we go. See, her role, her purpose is to take down an ascendant. Those bastards.
He there's a sense of him reacting to that like he must have an idea of what you meant, like he knew what you're talking about, which you don't have any reason to suspect that he would unless he has a a close connection with Goran Xantalis. Oh, interesting. He stands back. He was kind of leaning way down after Nazim, like he was staring in Nazim's face and just kind of looking at each of you because you're, half his height, far less actually. So he was leaning, well, especially for Sarah's purpose here. So he was leaned way down, like staring right in your faces. At that, he kind of rights himself and stands back up with this like long creaking, like he sounds like he's made of tree, like of old wood himself. But he stands back to his kind of booming height above you, and he makes a almost dismissive gesture and he says, "Provide an offering."
all right. I have in my inventory.
What do you prefer, big man? Would you like as an offering? Any requests?
All right, Sarah. While you're rummaging through pockets and Pogo makes his typical banter, questioning and trying to persuade and schmooze. Pogo, you asked that question. Make a, I guess, persuasion check. It probably should just be flat charisma. What's that?
Has it been less than a minute
Since when?
since I casted guidance?
Guidance?
on myself?
Yeah, no, it's been more than a minute by now. Yeah.
Then.
I mean, the tree. Oh, sorry. You did. Yeah, you cast it before. No, it's been. Yeah, it took longer than that for the trees to kind of move out of the way and everything.
All right, standard check.
Yeah. They probably should be flat charisma, but I think persuasion is fine
Fucking
here.
go! Oh, so close.
Well, okay. With that, I'm going to tell you that you know, you know what? I should have had you roll something different. Instead, what is your modifier for? Probably perception, I guess. What's your modifier for it? And we'll use what you rolled. You rolled an 8.
Perception is plus. So,
Did you say, Justin? You're a little bit static.
yeah, I said 12.
12. Okay. I'm going to tell you that you don't notice. He's not adorned in jewelry. He doesn't have jingling pockets. The impression you get from him, and I'm going to tell you this as a bard specifically, having asked that question and maybe heard stories of strange fey creatures that may have let's say odd desires, that they're not looking for money. They don't really care about jingling things and shiny things. The offering that he's asking for is likely not of monetary value, but of something meaningful. Its tangibility could even be a question. I'll put it that way.
Right. So I think he wants something important to you. Do you have like a picture of your dad that you hold on to? Because we always get another one of those now.
The only thing she carries on her of any sentimental value. She's going to take off her tea leaf family signet ring that she's been carrying around all this time.
Okay.
Just because it's the only connection she ever had to, her dad.
Okay. What did you do with it?
Was he like pointing at like an altar or a place to like put it?
Nope, just standing there. He's not holding his hand out. There's no, there's very little to give you clues here except what Pogo managed to pick up there. And Pogo, you said what you did say out loud. It's up to you how you guys want to translate what you deciphered.
I guess I will set it. Is there like a little? Are the trees still moving, or are there some that are like stationary?
They've almost all stopped by now. They basically, you guys were walking westward. Sorry, no, you were walking. We're walking eastward. Sorry, and a path opened on a new path opened to the left of you, which is pointing northward, and that's where you're standing now. You're facing him, facing northward. And there's just some open path in front of you now, but the place behind you is now full of trees and covered. Most of them have settled.
Okay. I'll just, wherever the closest tree is, just go and like prop my ring up like against a root or its base. Like, would you
Okay.
two stop it?
Then you prop the ring up on the ground floor, and as you step away, little bits of tendrils of tree root and animated plant wrap up through it and around it and pull it into the dirt, and it's gone. He's still standing there.
Want more, I take it?
He doesn't respond.
Okay. And I make an insight check to see if I give like a spell or a memory, if that would be enough.
Yes, you may. It's going to be a low DC. I'll put it that way. I'm going to tell you that from what you've gathered here, you think that what he's asking for is probably not anything tangible to begin with. He's asking you to give up something, not necessarily a physical object. They don't really care about that, but something that is like your worst fear. Tell them a secret. If it's a hope that you haven't spoken before, things like that. A memory would be fine as well.
Oh, and then they don't
Okay.
get it back. Like he's gonna take it, or just tell him. Is it just a story, or is he gonna fucking take it?
I will remind you that in your previous dealings with a fey creature, Sparkle said, that those rules were binding as much as they weren't logical in our world. They were binding, and you were forced to abide them.
Okay. Then how do I send a message just to you?
To Sarah, to be the DM. I think if you do test it first. Just do /W space DM
W space
and then space.
DM.
Yeah, I just did it to myself and it worked. So here, I'll do it like this. So test it first. Yeah, I just got hello from you. And as long as nobody else saw that, then yeah, it'll just come to me.
Did
this is
anybody see
funny.
my
We just
question?
see Astro scribbles.
Yeah, I mean, I
Okay.
wrote that, but what'd you say, Fox?
I tried doing a private GM roll for the message I sent you. I'm
So
not
if you
sure
click
if it
on-
worked the same way.
Well, that drop-down box, if you change that to private GM roll, how that works is when you roll dice, I'm the only one that'll see it.
Oh, so it doesn't work for the chat too.
Yeah,
Okay.
change that back to public roll. That's just for dice rolls, is all that is. But I mean, if you wanted to roll dice where only I would see the result, like you wouldn't even see it, I think, on private GM roll, then you could do it that way. It'd be like rolling it in a dice tower. But yeah, that's just for dice rolls, though.
Oh, okay. I thought it worked the same for okay.
Okay. Then she is going to kind of like walk up and like beckon him down and then whisper in his ear.
So he's gonna have to lead his ear down to his feet, basically.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
And that
All right.
is the secret she has never told anyone.
Okay. Sarah realizes that this secret will disappear from her, though, right? You're giving it
Yep.
away. Okay. All right. So.
But it's the only secret that she has. So.
Okay. All right. The last word of that leaves your whisper, and he begins to right himself and lean himself way back up again with these long groaning trees sound as he rights himself again. Sorry.
She's just got tears streaming down her face.
Okay.
And has
so the
no
rest
idea
of you,
why.
So, there was a brief moment of loss when you recognize that the secret you've just given leaves your memory, and there's a moment of loss when you know, and then there's immediately after a moment of loss where you don't know why you're sad. But it is gone from you. The creature standing in front of you has righted himself, stood back up, and he leaning back down, not all the way down, just kind of looking back down at you. He says, "Promise your courtesy."
Sorry, what did he say?
He said, "Promise your courtesy."
Promise my courtesy.
Pogo having bad perception, he curtsies.
That is definitely thematically appropriate for Pogo.
Me as a person has no idea what he means.
In the sense of the kind of communication you've had with him, he's asking you to promise that you won't, try to burn the
Be
forest
cool,
down, hurt the
bro.
things here. Yeah, be cool, basically.
Oh.
He's saying, like, just, don't harm the creatures and the denizens of this forest. He's the character, like, this is his job. He's protecting this place. He's saying, okay, I'll let you in, but you need to be good.
That is a promise I can make. As long as they don't attack me first.
And he goes through and you get the sense he didn't like that last bit. He stands, he swings the shovel down in front of him and holds it in front of, like, still kind of right. In fact, the blade of the shovel is taller than you are, kind of barring your way in the path.
Look, I'm not going to go around burning your forest down or attacking anything, but if something tries to eat me, I'm not just going to let it eat me.
He seems satisfied enough with that. He does ask the whole group to promise your courtesy. Does anyone refuse or otherwise try to negotiate or argue?
Nope.
Sounds great.
No.
I'm a pacifist.
Yeah, so many times you've pulled that rapier out as a pacifist.
It's only when other people are not cool.
If I could grab samples.
He didn't. That didn't seem to be a problem, and plus you asked them, yeah. So that was
Yes.
voluntary.
And
thing
then I
to give
thanked
up.
them for their help.
Yeah. He doesn't seem concerned with kind of normal plant, behavior, as long as you're not chopping trees down and burning things, stuff like that. All right. Well, in that sense, then he seems almost begrudgingly in this, but he pulls the blade of the shovel out of it's kind of broken in half, like the spade part of the shovel snapped in half. But he lifts it up out of the dirt. Looks like a very sharp and ugly weapon to be disemboweled with for you to break your guys' promise, and steps to one side, very slowly and meanderingly kind of backs into the trees a little bit. He's still there, but he almost blends in with the trees, like to the point that he's kind of, unless you're looking straight at him, you would probably not even notice he was there because he just stands so still. But the path is open.
All right. Perfect. Let's go. Is anyone else excited?
Sarah's just like wiping tears off her face. Yeah, I don't.
Without
We're
knowing why.
Let's go. Something's
Yep.
weird.
I'm gonna give the big guy a little pat on the leg and walk past. Like, you're doing a great job, by the way.
He doesn't move. He doesn't react.
Keep walking.
All right. You guys heading further into the woods then. A little ways further down the pathway. You walking another 10 minutes, which just gets stranger and stranger because these woods are just not that big. Like, you saw it from above. It shouldn't have taken you very long at all to walk through this. It doesn't feel like you're walking in circles, but yet you keep, kind of circling back, or it'll turn left and then turn right again and so on, but you never make it to the edge of the forest again. Like, you should have been to the other side by now, basically. But further down this ever crowded pathway, as the trees get more and more dense as you go. Fox, I don't think I fixed your number of prepared spells. So at the top where it says prepared spells, it's one more than whatever it says there.
Oh, okay, so it's 23. Gotcha.
Yeah, because that, when you guys leveled up to 18, I didn't. I have to manually change that every time, and I didn't do it this time. So
Oh, okay.
I saw that you were still preparing spells. So go ahead, you get one more there. So, anyways, the forest around you, as you guys are making it, further in, instantly, like suddenly, falls eerily quiet. The wind ceases. The sounds of the kind of chorus of frogs and like chittering insects and all that stuff, it all vanishes instantly with this just deafening silence. The light source that Pogo had pulled out, but all of you, if you had any light sources at all, the light sources are sputtering, and you're not using torches. You guys have magical light sources. They should really never sputter like that. But they're beginning to cast extremely distorted shadows that seem just like you guys had noticed earlier. They seem too large, like they're stretching and writhing along the tree trunks. They're just not the right shapes and so on. They all vanish away from you, like the shadows themselves disappear, and for 4 or 5 tense minutes, the only sound at all that you can hear anymore is just your own breathing. You guys, trying to talk to each other, and you don't hear anything at all. Like, you can see each other's mouths moving, but no sounds coming out. If you move right up to somebody's ear, you can hear them, but it just sounds like a whisper when they're shouting. And the kind of heartbeat thump of distant thunder from above is all you can hear, even though you can still see that the sky is clear. There's basically no sound at all as you guys are walking through here. What are you doing?
You said all the lights are flickering?
Yeah, the light sources keep sputtering, like they keep fading in and out the way that a torch would if it was, running out of fuel.
I'd say it's a sphere of silence, but if it's affecting all magic, then it's something different.
And I'll tell you that I mean it's a significant dampening of sound, but like I said, if you shouted directly in somebody's ear, they can hear you. It's just barely a whisper. So it's not complete silence. Like you can still hear a little bit. Just it has to be pretty high decibels, and even then it's difficult. Other than this booming thunder that you're hearing above, that's still loud.
So are we still covered by like a canopy of trees, or is it more open?
No, you guys. If anything, it's more dense now than it was earlier. After you got past the groundskeeper there, it got more and more dense.
The shadows have been weird everywhere in this forest, yeah?
Yes, yeah, pretty much as soon as you got in, and Pogo had brought out or cast light. Yeah, it was weird everywhere you went, and now they've disappeared. Like there's no shadows.
Yeah, not all of us can see in the dark.
No shadows. Okay. Stop it! I just like quietly make my way forward. There's still like a trail, right? Like a path?
Yep. I will tell you though that looking forward now, this is below your threshold for passive. The path this entire time has been meandering constantly. Like you have to move around a tree and then it may right itself or it may go off left or right or whatever. Now it's just a straight shot the whole way through. And the size of this forest, if you had a straight shot like this, you should have been able to see the other side, but you can't. It just looks like it goes on forever.
And that's the only way, like, we can't. Are the trees so thick that we can't, like, weave in and out of them next to the path?
You probably could, but it would be very. Well, I'll put it this way: that you probably wouldn't want to. Sarah, in particular, like it's very dense and deep foliage. Like you'd be up to your knee at least in gross muck.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
And you do, like I said, you do know that the trees have a certain animation and maybe not bloodlust, but they do grab things that are in there down, in the underbrush.
Would you stop it? I'm gonna send Noctua up front and just kind of like hold on to whoever's closest and look through her eyes, see if she just keeps going forever or.
Well, you send her forward, and the minutes continue to pass. She keeps on flapping as fast as she can, going and going and going, and it looks the same the whole way through. She turns around and looks back in your direction, and you're, a mile and a half away. And, I mean, she could still see you with owl eyes. Maybe not a mile and a half, in 5 minutes, but, you're a long, long way away, and the forest should not have been that big, and nothing's changed. There's no difference in the path.
Can I make an Arcana check and see if it's some kind of like loop magic, like where if we just keep like going, we'll just go forever and ever and ever?
Sure.
Illusion labyrinth kind of thing.
Never mind. 3.
Yeah, there are so many just layers upon layers of reconditous threads surrounding this place that identifying which one in particular is responsible for what you're seeing is not something you're capable of at the moment. Too distracting.
You guys have any ideas?
I do.
Thinking about
You have
going
10
in Nordorf's
minutes.
backpack and taking a nap.
What do you say, Fox?
I do if you have like 10 minutes.
I mean, Noctua flew off for 5.
Yeah.
Okay, where the hell is that spell?
If it's something specific that is causing us issues, I can probably dispel it, but we don't know exactly specifically what it is. It could just be the whole environment.
I'm going to do this as a ritual.
Okay.
And specifically look for buildings.
Okay. Arteme, while you're sitting down and going through that, it'll take 11 minutes there. Nazim, what was it you said there?
Oh, I was saying if we can determine if whatever is causing this magic disturbance, I can probably dispel it. But until we can determine exactly if something is specifically doing it, I can't just broadcast and spam a dispel into the whole area.
Make an Arcana check, Nazim.
Mm-hmm.
It was going to be a high DC, so looking around and kind of the idea crossing your mind of potentially trying to dispel what is there, you do see very thin, very delicate threads of Recondidus that are kind of enveloping you and your companions' heads, all of you. You see one thread that is connected from Sarah, flying way off in the distance, and at this distance you can't see what it's connected to, but you gather it's probably Noctua. It's probably her owl that she sent off there. There's some ensorcellation that is surrounded each of your heads that you gather that maybe when you are moving your mouth like right up next to somebody's ear and shouting into it, that you're able to kind of get through, but other than that, there is almost no sound getting through.
I'm going to do my best to convey that information to the team then, so that way we're all on the same page.
Okay. With that, anyone with sufficient Arcana training, which that would be all of you except for Norok, and Pogo to an extent that you could tell that it's there, but maybe not identify it further, would be able to kind of see these very thin, very very old and well practiced threads of arcane magic surrounding each of your heads. Fox, well, I mean, we'll come back to him because it's only probably been about 5 minutes at this point, so. For your
You got the whisper?
Yeah. Nazim, with that information too. Yeah, I did, Fox. With that information there, those threads are what you'd be looking for if you were going to attempt to dispel something. Not that you need to do that. I'm just telling you that is the information you were looking for.
Yeah, it just seems like all the threads are just kind of connected to everyone. There's no single point of contact, like for instance, a stone or a ruin or something in the area that is causing this.
Not an object.
Yeah,
not an object. It looks like the connecting point is each of you, yourself and your companions is heads basically.
Well, the dispel says that I can do a creature, object, or magical effect within range.
Mm-hmm.
So, in theory, I could just have everyone gather together and knock out the magical effect within range, but we still don't know if that spell will constantly be cast upon us. Because I could dispel it, and if it's just an environmental thing, then you're kind of screwed anyway.
I will tell you that you do know, you guys have practiced enough mages by now that you do know that were you to cast it, even if you kind of all put your heads together, it would only, deactivate it for one target. You're casting, the target in that case would be a creature, not the magical effect itself. So it would cancel the effect of that on a creature, and it would just be whichever one you were targeting out of the 5 of you. Arteme, what was you about to say there?
Nothing.
Okay.
If someone wants to be dispelled, let me know. Maybe Arteme or someone, just to kind of progress the story along. Because I got one in the chamber I could use.
I mean, can anyone even hear what you're saying?
I think Sarah would be the better one for that because it is her test, but...
Yeah. Also, that would show a supportive role if I cast that on Sarah as well. So if Sarah wants one, I do have one in the chamber for you if you need it.
Sorry, apparently I was muted. I also have Dispel Magic.
Yeah, we haven't heard you for a while, so.
Yep, nope. I also have Dispel Magic, so we can do this to everybody. It would use all of my 3rd level spell slots, but I can get 3 people with that.
Yeah, I have some too, so we could clean the party, but that would take all the spell slots. If anything, let's at least do a few core individuals like yourself and maybe Norok.
Okay. Who's really good at like navigating though? Should we have someone that's good at navigating just in case?
Are we like writing this stuff down?
I would say that I did describe that you guys could shout at each other's ears. So I mean, it would add a lot of time to be able to make this kind of communication across the whole team. But you could be communicating verbally. Writing it down
Can't
would be
we
fine too.
use the
With the
stones?
stones? Yeah.
I'm gonna scream at the top of my lungs. Where are you, Corzanalis? You freaking wizard! Where are you freaking living?
All of you see this little halfling shouting at the sky
Yelling.
with no sound coming out. Pogo, give me a perception check.
Oh.
Arteme would be coming up on your answer here shortly.
Hey.
Oh, well, at 19. Pogo, there's a... you know how... Was it Alien? No, I think it's the Predator, right? The way that the camouflage worked for the Predator, remember, where it was like this weird distortion, and you could kind of see through it, but it would be like this shape, this kind of shape.
Yeah.
There's something with small wings flying above you, all of you, like flying above the group, that is batting its little wing, like kind of imp shaped in size. You guys have seen, imps before, so you know what that would be. Not visible, but you see the disturbance in the tree branches behind it. The tree branches are up higher than the imp that's flying above you. It's probably 15 feet above, or above the ground.
All right.
And it's just
So
flapping there gently, and well,
I'm gonna keep my eyes on it, and I'm gonna go ahead and just try to reach over to find either Arteme or Sarah, and just point at it.
Okay.
Be like,
Okay, I have a question unrelated to my current task. What happened to the familiar that Sarah was imbuing with magic for Corinthanthlus?
So,
I forgot about that.
Yeah. When you guys went into this, has been a while, of course, but when you guys went into the necropolis, it couldn't follow, so it stayed outside. You guys had it wasn't Kamazoth, it was the new one, Maiades, Miyades, yeah. He couldn't go in, so he stayed outside. We'll say that just for the sake of ease, that you were still feeding him throughout that because you had to keep feeding him spell slots. Remember? So during that time that you continued to feed him, he's probably just waiting on the Sevastopol.
Should we bring him with us?
If you want to have, that's fine. Like, there's really no, issues with that. It's not a retcon necessarily. He could have just been following along with you this whole time.
Because wouldn't he be able to find his master?
I'm going to tell you no. And the reason is that this whole process here is intended to be difficult for a reason.
Okay, no. It was just my question of, hey, like,
no,
this is a theory.
Yeah, I mean, in narrative though, that you guys would realize that this, Corinthanthlus wasn't making it easy he's not making it hard on purpose. He's not making it hard for no reason. He's making it hard on purpose.
Yeah, that's perfectly fine. I just thought I'd query.
Sure. So Pogo, having seen this little flitting imp that's standing above you guys, I will remind you though, you're hearing booming thunder from above you, and that's the only thing you guys are hearing.
Yeah,
other than when you're shouting, remember.
I'm trying to smack Arteme or Sarah like in the tits and make sure they see this fucking thing.
Really? That's how you're gonna get attention?
Just imagine I'm just little and I'm pointing up, trying to keep my eyes on it, and I'm to the left or right, smacking with my other hand, trying to get someone's attention.
And
Pogo doesn't know what to do with it.
Accidentally.
Yeah, it might have been an accidental rub here or there.
Okay, let's not interrupt the person doing the ritual. Thank you.
That's true. By now, Fox, that would have finished. So, Arteme, the trying to sense. Let's see. What was the? Let me read it here real quick. Surrounding territory. You are absolutely able to discern that there is not just a tower, but there's multiple. You're surrounded by them. There's towers all over the place around here. You can't see them. You can't sense, where they actually are beyond being surrounded by them. But it's like they're layered on top of each other. There's dozens, maybe hundreds.
Okay. So I'll relay that. The influence from other planes. I guess they're on other planes if there's like dozens around on top of each other.
They all feel like they're from Recondidus, which is the arcane, the source of kind of arcane magic in general, not ancient primal magics like Venerathus and stuff it's not druidic magics, it's not death magic like stuff that Nora, not Norok, sorry, Pogo is more adapted to. It's none of those. It's kind of if you needed to cast a fireball, if you needed to create an illusion, things like that. That's where it comes from. And all of these
Okay.
are that.
Okay, and the bodies of water.
You don't sense any large bodies of water within range.
Okay, because it would have made sense to have a tower near a body of water. Yes, that's it. Okay, so I don't really have an answer there other than it's around.
So while
And
you're
it feels like there's
finishing this,
multiple.
yeah, and like layered on top of each other in a strange way. While you're learning this, while you're gathering this from your commune, you are getting slapped at by Pogo, trying to get your attention and pointing upwards. And you look up and see this kind of floating ghost-like shape.
Okay, I'm gonna do a nature check on it then.
Okay. Sarah, you get the same. You get whacked in the face, look it up, and then see this kind of semi-camouflaged floating imp shape.
Hi.
Were you muted for a while there?
Yeah, I was.
Arteme, it looks like an imp. You can't really discern any particular species of imp, but it is clearly camouflaging itself with some relatively rudimentary invisibility. It's not even really trying that hard. Now that you're all kind of staring at it, though, it has raised itself up and it's like trying to escape further away, or at least out of rock throwing distance potentially. I will tell you, though, that you realize as it is starting to kind of flit and get further away from you, the booming sound of thunder is lessening, and you guys are ever so slightly able to hear a little bit better.
Okay. Do we want to try following it, or what?
Say so.
Sure.
Also, I'll be putting my hood up.
Okay.
I was gonna hang back and watch them follow it and see what happens. But
Okay.
not totally sure this is the best option, but he'll just bring up the rear by 15 feet or so.
Okay. The little flitting imp that is flapped up and away from you guys, the further it gets, the better you're able to hear. The sound of the thunder gets further and further away as he moves away from you, and your vision and hearing is returning a little bit more to normal. The further he gets, the better your senses become. That said, when he gets slightly further away, there is a almost instantly headache-inducing vision blurring, because you are seeing this straight path that goes straight ahead, and then also seeing layered on top of it what you expect to be real path, which is back to the kind of twisting and turning that it had been previously. Okay. So the illusion appears to be tied. The deafening and the illusion that you were seeing appears to be tied to this little flitting imp that is still nearby enough that it's bothering you, but is the further is away from you, the better your senses become.
But is it going along the path or away from the path?
He's trying to be you know what? Make an insight check, Arteme.
Oh, that's gonna be bad.
I think insight's wisdom, right? No. Yeah, wisdom, yeah. You're not really sure. He's keeping pretty equal distance, but it is making it difficult for all of you to really navigate this at all, and having a pretty difficult headache just to try to walk straight on the path here.
Okay, so we should try and go to the curving path then?
It's still one path. It didn't branch. It's just that your vision is being affected by an illusion of a straight path, the reality of it being kind of twisting all over the place.
Yeah, okay.
Does Polo get the sense that if a creature was just not hurt, but just maybe charmed, that this would be breaking the rules of the forest?
I would say Pogo, whether this is the reality of the situation or not, Pogo would probably feel like that's fair game, I would think.
Like, how far
You,
away
don't
is
you
the
think?
little flittering creature?
50 feet up at an angle.
It wouldn't be considered harming the creature, would it?
Whether or not the truth of that is the case, I'm not going to tell you. But as Pogo and probably Nazim are concerned, I think you guys would probably feel like, and I mean, you can decide for yourselves, but I feel like you guys would probably think it was, fair game.
I'm
He's
gonna
obviously
see.
pestering you guys, so.
I'm going to see if we can continue to follow this path without, as long as it stays further away. But if it gets closer, I'm going to cast Hypnotic Pattern in its general area just to see if I can disable it and basically
Okay.
charm it and make it fall into the ground. Which is,
Okay.
you know,
Who is in the lead right now? Who's walking first? Maybe
will.
Norok? Sarah? Okay. Make a survival check, Sarah.
I would say if Norok is with me, then I probably would have brought my eyes back to a.
Okay.
Would you also be on the broom?
Yeah, if the ground is covered in a bunch of like nasty stuff, yeah.
The path itself is pretty clear. If you were to step off the path, yeah, you'd probably sink in pretty quickly just from the kind of years and years and years of detritus falling from the branches.
She's
Iggy.
probably on the. I know she is a. Yeah.
Wally's sitting right next to me being a good boy, getting shin rubs.
Sorry, you said survival?
Yeah.
Oh, that's not great. Someone else.
Yeah, I wouldn't think so. Yeah, Norok would be good at survival.
Oh,
that's not a bad roll though.
terrible.
All right. Okay, trying to do your best to stumble along the path while seeing, the real path and the illusory one. It is, head splitting in discomfort, but not too much further down the road here. Another 5 minutes of walking this way. The forest, another bend basically around the corner here, and the sound, the thundering booming, continues on going north, and you guys have turned off to the east, and the booming continues as it gets further and further away. Your vision and your hearing, everything returns to normal. You still have awful headaches, like terrible headaches, but your senses have returned to normal, as whatever that little creature was has seemed to have left you alone for the moment at least. That said, you get the impression not long after that the little imp was maybe leaving for a reason, because not too much further along this, the noise of the kind of atmosphere of the creatures, insects, etc., return, but they bring with it what sounds like an old human woman muttering in a very old dialect, and like not a common spoken dialect of Indian anymore. Imagine, old timey English, kind of a comparison, basically. Just further up the path, a little ways around a corner, you're hearing an old woman's kind of muttering.
Right. Pogo is better at persuasion than I am, so I'm going to tap him with tones.
He can speak Indian.
Oh.
Yeah, Indian is normal.
Yeah, you can take that spell slot back. It's like Old English, but you can still understand. It's just common. Indian is common.
Okay, so that is one of the, I guess, maybe wandering people that end up here that the plants talked about. Or it could be something else.
Wandering people?
Sometimes people come into the forest, they get lost, and they die, and then they become nourishment for the plants. But they seem to be caught in, like, an illusion or just completely lost.
Well, maybe we can help this person. I'll go ahead and introduce myself. How far away are we within? Can this person hear us probably from a distance?
Yeah, just up around the bend. Yeah, I mean, you can hear them. You imagine they should be able to hear you. Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and just yell, "Excuse me, ma'am, are you all right out here in the forest? Are you doing okay?"
The muttering stops instantly, and you, Pogo, have gotten around the bend. You're the first to see this. There is a hunched-backed, very old, I'm going to say hag-like woman, hunched over the side of the road here. And she's gathering these strange, like luminous mushrooms up from the roots of just a gnarled tree that's on the side there. She kind of turns towards you, looking towards you with very milky, very cataracted eyes. Like she doesn't look like she, can really see through them all that well. Turns in your direction. There's let's say, a third of the number of teeth should have smiling, as she kind of eyes you warily and kind of smiles. She starts kind of greedily pulling this woven basket up to her chest, and kind of tries to stand up. She's a human, at least, in what you'd expect to be, in stature, but even at full height, because she's so hunched over, she's only barely taller than Pogo.
No worries,
says-
don't worry. We're not trying to upset you or take your mushrooms. Just want to make sure you're all right out here in the forest.
She says, "Well, I spotted these shroomies first."
Perfectly fine. We're actually here. We're not interested in the mushrooms, but we are looking for a tower or a gentleman by the name of Corazantos, if you happen to know where he is.
She, okay, where's everybody else? Everybody, like, you guys see Pogo kind of around the corner, and he's clearly, maintaining his jovial attitude, speaking to...
I'm going to have sex with this old lady.
Gross. Is everybody else following behind, or are you leaving Pogo to this by himself?
I'd walk
I'm
up.
gonna stay a bit behind the bend.
Okay, so not in
Stay
sight.
with an earshot, but not too close.
Okay. She then to Pogo, Norok and Sarah.
I probably would have been close with Pogo just to make sure, nothing eats him. So I'm probably seeing this too, I'm assuming.
Okay, sure. Sarah?
Yeah, I would have walked up.
Okay.
Well, floated up. I'm on the broom.
Okay. All right. She says, "I don't know no Corinzantilus. I know that the caretaker. You don't want to deal with him, but I don't know how to. I don't think I can help you find any Corinzantilus."
All right. What if we continue on this path? Do you know where it leads?
No, I could tell you.
Also, can I do an insight check on
Sure.
if she does know
Sure.
where's Analyst?
You get the. I would say that you can't necessarily tell if she's lying or not, but she is a deceitful creature. I'll put it that way. You get that. You get to just in her nature that she's not a very, that she's not a very honest creature to begin with. She says, I could probably, maybe trade. I could tell you some information if you were to give me a secret or two. I'll even give you one of my mushrooms in trade.
No, I think I'm all right there. I'm just glad you're enjoying your hobbies. It's very important to have hobbies. And I'm just gonna kind of I'm gonna back up a little bit, but keep like 10 feet. I'm gonna tell Sarah we should probably just keep going and let her be on her way.
How about you, Missy? You have any secrets you want to trade?
No thanks. I have a bad feeling I've already done that.
She gives you a knowing look, one that there's a little bit of sadness in it when she looks at you, and she looks up at Norok. She says, "And you?"
No thanks, ma'am. I'll have to pass.
This is your only warning. I'd really like to make a trade. These mushrooms are really tasty. And
Listen,
you over there, and she kind of shouts over towards the woods where Nazim and Arteme are. Either of you want to trade?
Can I make an insight? Is she going to attack us if we don't give her some kind of same thing that we did with the other guy?
Okay. I'll get back to you on that one, Fox. With the insight check, there's a definite threat there. I wouldn't say that she, like, you don't feel like she would be physically much threat. Like, you guys could probably, without any difficulty, take care of that. But there's definitely a threat if you don't deal with her.
The secret we share, is that a memory that disappears, or is that...
So, you were standing next to Sarah when she made her choice there and what happened with that. So I will say that you definitely saw a very strange and remarkably sad change in Sarah's demeanor when that happened. She whispered something that she clearly lost. So you do feel like whatever information you give here, you will lose. She's only asking for one of you potentially. At least that's the impression you've gotten, to trade her something. Otherwise, there will be consequences. Question mark. She also did offer to give you one of these mushrooms, which could be good too. You don't know.
I'm curious about the mushrooms, but not enough to lose anything. And for Nazim, in theory, if he says a secret, does his twin keep the information? Or his clone?
Well, the clones, yeah. So when they were tank bred, they have the information up to that point, and you don't know whether he would lose it also or not. I'm going to tell you they're separate biological creatures. You don't think it would be erased from the other one, although that
Okay.
kind of magic does exist in this world, having been through the vast erudition.
So that's why I'm just curious on that. I just thought I'd bring it up.
I'm going to, feeling a bit like she wants something. I'm going to offer her a secret. So I'll offer you a secret. No one here knows. Very few people know. Something very personal to me. And I'm going to go and I'm gonna tell everyone to back away a little bit. I don't want them to hear.
Okay.
And I'm going to go to her and within a few feet. I'm gonna tell her there was this one time when I was just a wee lad of me and four other of my friends. We were in the basement having some fun playing some games. One of them pulled out a cracker. I heard about this game. No one had ever talked about it, but on this cracker, we all did something.
Okay, let's stop this there.
Then-
We're good. I think we've heard the extent of the story that we need to hear. But what I do need though is Justin, change yours to I think it's private GM role. Is
Is there anyone who didn't know where I was going with this story out of curiosity?
I think I figured it out.
It's pretty gross. All right.
Now, hang on. Here's the thing. So change it to private GM role. We both see it. Blind GM role only. I would see it. You would not.
Sure.
So set it to private GM role.
Done.
And then what you're going to do is either roll persuasion or no. Yeah, persuasion. Hang on. It's deception or the other. I think it's persuasion, right? Yeah. So persuasion or deception. Persuasion if you're telling the truth. Deception if you're lying. I'm going to tell you that the DC for one of those is going to be extremely high. You already kind of have an idea of that it would be difficult to fudge the truth. Okay. Oh, all right. Well, if that's you know what? Well, that might be a memory that you wanted to get rid of, I guess. And, well,
no one would ever know.
No one would ever know. All right. Well, Pogo passes this information along. There is a very confused look on this old hag's face. She looks like this memory that you've just given to her does not taste good. You get the impression this is nourishment for them, for these fake creatures here. And as she's absorbing it, it doesn't have an appetizing feel, I guess. But she does seem to have accepted it. Pogo, your shoulders feel a little lighter all of a sudden. Like this awful memory has now since faded from you. She says, "Well, I've made a fair deal," and she reaches her hand out to shake your hand.
All right. I think I will shake her hand with some caution, but I will shake her hand.
Okay. She says, "I'm Venus. Would you let me have your name?"
Oh, no, thank you, please.
There's a little bit of a scowl, and she reaches one hand into her basket and hands you a glowing mushroom.
All right, I'm going to put the mushroom into my pocket, and I'm going to thank her.
All right. She looks satisfied, maybe not happy, but at least satisfied with the interaction here. And there's a kind of a popping sound, like a mushroom spore popping, and she bursts into a cloud of fireflies and spores that just kind of begin to dissipate on the wind.
All right, that was unexpected. All
That
right.
mushroom, if you were to look at it, it does look to be, with some, assistance from Artemis or even just basic survival in the woods. It does look like the kind of mushroom that you could eat and it would normally be, food basically. But the glowing reconditious threads that have kind of infused it are beneficial. At the very least, it looks like you would probably get a nice spoon from having eaten it if you choose to do so. There's enough for 2 people to eat from it, but 2, by the way, especially with halfling size.
Do you want me to add it to my inventory? You can,
Yep. Yeah, if you want your, if you're going to eat it, that's fine too. But otherwise, you can put our reconditious infused mushroom.
Are there more mushrooms where she was?
No, they're all disappeared.
Okay. Can I take a tiny sample of it to try and grow more?
Sure. I'll let you have a little bit.
Go ahead and add that to your samples too, Fox.
Okay. I like growing new things.
Okay. You guys continue on your way?
Yep.
All right. Yet further into the woods then, as you round another bend, another 10 minutes have gone by. A bend in this narrow, and the path is getting more and more narrow really as time goes by. It's kind of root choked now. Like there's spots of the trail that are not visible. You see it, 10 feet later type of thing. But further in, you spot a young, ashen-skinned elven mage. Like he's clearly, here for similar purposes to Sarah. I'll put it that way. Ashen skin, like in pale blonde hair, like he's like almost white. Those of you familiar with different elven species would recognize he's probably half drow. But his robes are torn. His glasses, his spectacles are askew on his face. He's kind of pacing in anxious circles up ahead. He's on the path, but there's enough of this kind of a little bit of an opening there, and he's kind of walking around in circles there, and he's clutching a letter that is emblazoned with an intricate seal on the back side of it, which is what you're seeing. But he's looking at the front side of it, where clearly there's writing of some sort on. But he keeps glancing between the page, looks back up, peers over like nervously over his shoulder every few seconds, like he's clearly trying to find his way. Looks like he's lost. He hasn't seen you yet.
Should we help him or should we just try to like sneak around him?
I'd lay low, just kind of watch him for a few seconds, watch his move.
All right.
I'm just gonna be like, "Who loves horizontalists?" and then jump behind a bush.
Well, you do that. He looks in your direction, sees Norok, giant Yogg, standing right in the middle of the path with everyone else. He sees the rest of the group, nearly kind of jumps up out of his skin, like he's clearly startled. Oh, thank the stars! You're real, aren't you? I've been trying to find the tower all night, and the forest keeps changing, and sure, something's been following me. But you're real, right? You guys you're actually there?
Yep. I mean, we're just also trying to find the tower.
Oh,
How long have you been out here?
it feels like days, at least a day. What time is it? And he kind of looks up. Oh, what, is it really light out? I thought it was still night. It's been a while. I keep hearing footsteps, and I look around, and there's never anybody there. So I was really kind of afraid you were, not real. I'm just here for the apprenticeship trials. Is that what? I mean, you look a little strange to be mages.
We're here for my test.
And moral support.
Coming from the trees, not even from anyone in the group.
I'm hard to see.
You're probably blending in pretty well, but I mean, Norok is, even if he was trying to, he probably could blend in just fine. But otherwise, he's a giant standing in the middle of a path. So.
Well, no, like my cloak makes me hard to see.
Yeah. I mean, you'd be able to blend in pretty well even without actually trying, especially in dark woods like this.
Definitely.
So the below the passive for a couple of you, his fear is genuine, and there are faint magical traces that are kind of shimmering around in the air all around him. Because this is below the passive, because he's not high level like you guys are. Let's see, Nazim, Sarah, and probably Art. Well, maybe even Poe. Really, I guess all of you except for Norok really can sense that he's being messed with also. You don't necessarily know by what, but there are little threads coming off of him. There's some creature or something in here also messing with him, and that's what he's afraid of. So I mean, if you're here for the test as well, I mean, do you mind if I travel with you? Maybe they won't
Sure.
bother all of us.
I just look at everybody. I don't care. You can come with us.
So is this like an open book test or a group project?
I don't really know. I received the summons and I came as soon as I could.
Oh yeah, us too. As soon as we got the summons, we just shot right here, straight. We
That was
didn't
like
do
5
anything
months ago.
else. We realized the importance of such a event happening here.
All of you approaching then?
Yeah.
Anybody holding back?
I'm staying back a little bit.
I'm going to kind of keep my distance a little bit and just stare at him.
Okay. Nazim, make a perception check, and Sarah.
Oh,
And if you have anything that helps you, if either of you have anything that helps your hearing, like for Norok does, for example, but I don't think you guys do.
Can I also make one?
There's a certain event that this is trying to potentially recall here, and Arteme was not at a point at which this would be useful for Arteme. Basically, it wouldn't trigger a memory
Okay.
for Arteme.
That's fine.
Arteme does have good hearing, obviously. What's that?
Can I give Nazim? I'm gonna cast Enhance ability, and I'm gonna give him Owl's Wisdom, so he gets to roll with advantage. 'Cause
Well,
my
here's
wisdom is terrible.
So for that to make any sense, you would have to be doing this actively. Like you'd be having to. I guess there's a little kind of cognitive dissonance there. I get. Yeah, go ahead. That's fine. It's what, add a d4 or something like that? Is that how that
No,
works?
it gives him advantage.
Okay. All right. So go ahead and re-roll that perception check then.
Okay. Reroll with advantage.
That was a fun
Just re-roll
sound.
it. No, just roll it one more time, and because you don't get a second. Well, you would have that initial roll with advantage, so we're just going to use the 13 versus whatever you roll the second time, and that would be the advantage.
Gotcha.
Not great. 16. Okay. Well, that's actually enough. You hear a sound. It's a curse word, but it's an old curse word that you wouldn't normally hear spoken anymore, and it comes from over this little elven mage. It comes from over his shoulder, and there's nothing there. You see threads, like you see that there's definitely something there, something magical. But you hear a curse word, like a magical curse word. And the reason that I had you, like you would have heard that anyways, the reason that the perception check was relevant there is you heard that once before. It's been a few months now. It just happened to be you guys were camping. You were on Gwynsair, you were on the Elven Island there. You were camping, and in the middle of the night, you guys were robbed. And something broke into the camp, stole a very specific item out of your guys' bag of holding, and then ran off with it. And you tried to catch it in the middle of the night, and you didn't manage to do so. You didn't manage to catch it. It had a distinct smell, and it cursed when it was caught. Basically, when you guys woke up, and Nazim actually is the one that cursed it. If you remember, you guys were camping there, and you didn't have a tent large enough for Nazim, so Nazim was sleeping with his feet sticking out of the tent. Do you remember that?
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'm trying to go through my notes. I don't remember what he stole from the
I remember what
bag,
the item was.
I do, but it was something you guys had found in a treasure trove recently, just a bunch of stuff in it, and it was what was the exact name? Let me find it again. It was an amulet that prevented people from being able to find you. It was an amulet of like blocking divination type of a thing. Like it blocked people from being able to locate you magically.
Right.
So I guess as soon as I hear it, then only I heard it, correct?
I would say that like Arteme heard, all of you heard that the thing that was relevant is that remembering this one curse word, because you were the only one that heard the curse word, because it was right above your head when the item was stolen.
Yeah. So what'll happen then, I guess, is as soon as I hear that, I look over the shoulder of the little guy, point in the direction of where that came from, and just shout the amulet thief.
Okay.
Behind him, over there.
There is a
get everyone's attention.
Okay. There is a disturbed squeal Whatever it was not expecting to be spotted. You don't visually see anything. There's no difference there, but there is a squeal and the sound of footsteps moving away.
Can I easily tell where these footsteps are? In other words, when you see leaves or branches being crunched under people's feet, can I discern where this is coming from?
Make either survival or perception. You lose the track pretty quickly, but there is, you do see very briefly, some leaves basically that are being crunched, and then it disappears. It's too hard to see it after that.
Do I have time to cast anything in the heat of the moment?
I would say so. What's Nork doing, Holmes?
Sorry.
You there, G?
Yeah. Sorry.
What's Nork doing?
I'm sorry. Can you recap what we were doing again? I'm sorry, man.
You're right. There was an invisible thief of some sort that had stolen an amulet from you guys a long time ago.
Oh yeah. All right. And we think we see him again, or
well, Nazim heard that same voice and saying the same curse word, and now it's running away.
Okay.
Well,
would I have seen anything moving, possibly by chance, or heard? If I know I wouldn't have recognized the word, but heard or saw anything. Do I know if there's anything that's supposed to be running away?
Well, go ahead and make a survival check. You approached too, so I was thinking you'd be, potentially closer than Nazim because Nazim was a bit further back still. Nazim, what was it we wanted to cast?
I didn't want to destroy him instantly. Initially, I kind of wanted to do. Initially, I wanted to do just a dispel magic, but that's not going to help anything because he'll keep running.
I'm going to go ahead and tell you that you're just from awareness of kind of magical creatures like this. It's probably an unseen servant. A dispel magic would have an impact.
Okay. Yeah, I think I was going to just do a dispel magic on the creature and see what happens there.
Okay. Targeting it is difficult because it is invisible, and hence being unseen. Go ahead and make the cast, but it's going to be. Let's do this. Roll a percentile dice and get above a 60, and we'll say that you managed to get the kind of region enough around it. Norok, with that perception check, you do see. Yeah, the spell goes off in the distance, but you don't hear the impact. You don't see it have an effect. Norok, the trail, you're able to keep up with him just barely, chasing after him. Go ahead and make an athletics check to see if you can catch him.
Okay.
You can see the trail, but catching him is without. He can't really jump into the woods as easily as he can. All right, Fox. All right, with the 19, Norok, you grab out for kind of open air, and your hand passes through initially, and then becomes solid around, the neck basically of an unseen servant, basically a human-sized, invisible creature. You guys have actually met a couple of these before. There was one named Jared you guys spoke to previously. This one though. I'm gonna give you a chance to pick something up here. Norok, you've managed to catch this one. What's everyone else doing?
I'm looking at the kid in front of us to see if
he is
there's
wide-eyed.
any indication that this is his servant.
He's wide-eyed and shocked and no. Is that one of the bastards that's been harassing me this whole time? Did you catch him? He's staring at Norok, wide-eyed.
I'm not sure if he's one of them or not, but
let me go! And you feel it kind of trying to bat away at you. It's limp, it's weak, feckless. It can't actually resist being holding on to him.
I'm not gonna hurt you, pal. Just ask some questions.
Make a perception check, Norok.
Okay.
With advantage, and I'll tell you why in a minute. Is anyone else approaching, or where is everybody? Norok's run down the path 20 feet to before he caught this thing away from the elf.
Move closer. staying within Eldritch Blast range.
Okay.
I'm gonna remind him, don't hurt anything here. I don't want the shovel guy to come after us. He
Norak,
seems
I'm sending you a
wily.
whisper.
Okay.
All right. That is as much as you got with a 19.
Okay, that's it.
It's very distinct, and you got this before when the camp was robbed. You guys picked up that same information that I just gave you, but none of you rolled high enough to identify it. Anybody that's approaching close enough to this, like you see Nora kind of sniffing the air around this invisible thing that he's clearly holding on to. But he's just basically standing there, and it doesn't seem dangerous. So anybody that is approaching that, Fox, that's for you as well. Anybody that is approaching where Norok is holding this unseen servant can make a perception check.
Was that something that Norik noticed with the other unseen servants that he would have been around? Because didn't we have one in the Crow Fort or something like that, or on the ship or something?
Yeah, you guys
Didn't
have
Becky summon one?
spoken to multiple
Or Sarah?
before. Yeah, you actually saw them when you were under the Crow Fort specifically. You were where that carrion crawler and stuff was. Yeah, you've met them before. You've spoken to one as well, and this one in particular has a very distinct smell. And I'll tell you that when the camp was robbed, you smelled this as well then. But there's another place you've smelled this same cologne before, and trying to place it is the question. If anybody can figure out where they've smelled this before, this particular cologne.
And that's a perception.
Yeah. It's a 20 you're trying to beat, so unfortunately no luck there, Sarah or Arteme.
Actually, hang on. Where's my features? Yeah, I do. I will use Chronal Shift, and Fox, you can re-roll that. Oh, also, did my insight check? Do I need to do an insight check to see if it's his unseen servant or if it's somebody else's?
I mean, you can. I would tell you, in the context of the situation, you don't think so. You do believe, having seen it earlier, that he was definitely being harassed by something, and this appears to be at least one of the things. Well, with that perception check, Arteme,
I just lost audio.
I was sending a message to.
Oh, okay, got it. I'm like,
Yep.
no one's talking.
Yep. Sorry, I'm sending a message to Fox. So, the recap of the data there, Fox. This unseen servant, presumably, you don't know this for sure, but is presumably the one that had robbed your guys' camp previously and stole the amulet that prevented you from being tracked. It was in the bag of holding, and he didn't steal anything else of value. Basically, dug through the bag of holding, pulled that out, and ran off with it. And this same unseen servant is the one that was here in these woods, here at Cornxantelis' tower. Well, the tower at Hyrith anyways, and Norok just caught him.
Okay.
And then you have that bit of data I just sent you.
Okay, I'll let the others know via the stones, quietly whispering.
Okay. What are you telling them?
Thought the smell was similar to Ozzy.
It's spot on Ozzy's scent. It smells just like Ozzy.
Okay, so that's what I'll tell them. But if he needed something to block, he could have just asked to borrow it.
Yeah, but maybe he was trying to make it so that way he could keep an eye on us?
Huh.
Just let me go. Why are you bothering me?
Where's Ozzy?
You can't see anything. There's no, creature for you to see. So you can't see, like to try to read features or anything like that. I don't know who you're talking about. Let me go. And Norak, I would be having, if he was a physical creature of any amount of strength, I'd be having you, try to hold on to him. But because he's, there is no, he has no strength. Like he has a strength score of 1, I think so.
Okay, yeah, no shot.
So if you're not letting him go, then he's holding on.
You happen to remember a certain amulet that Norok remembers this, right? Or do I actually remember this? Can I?
Yeah, all of you
Okay.
remember that your camp was
Okay.
robbed and that they stole this specific amulet. Yeah, it
Looking
was the
for an
amulet
amulet.
of protection against divination. I think is what it was called, something like that.
Okay.
I'll find the exact name, but yeah.
And it would, make it to where nobody can kind of scry to find you. I'm sure you probably know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that's exactly what. Oh, sorry, you're telling him.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what amulet you're talking about. I don't. I do what I'm told. You just leave me alone. Why are you bullying me?
What were you told to do this time?
Well, bully him.
But why would Ozzy be here?
I don't know who you're talking about.
No, I'm not talking to you anymore. I'm looking at the rest of the group. Because from my understanding, Ozzy and Corinthantulus don't necessarily like each other. So I'm trying to figure out why he'd have him here bugging this kid.
Old wizard beef. Go on for generations.
The best aged beef.
Best aged beef.
So this is Dalamar, the elf that was behind you. You guys didn't ask his name, but that is it. He's still a little bit further back. Are you like I don't think they can really die, right? But I mean, are you gonna make him stop bothering me then? I mean, I'd really appreciate the help.
Yeah, you can come with us, right?
You talking about Dalamar the mage? Keeping him alive and not the unseen servant? I mean, I would greatly appreciate it. I've been trying to use this stupid thing, and he holds up a little token that looks like it's like a brooch, and he holds it up. If you guys can get me to the tower, this thing was supposed to help, and it's been nothing but worthless for me. But maybe it'd be useful for you. Like I'll just give it to you guys if I can go with you, and you get this little jerk to leave me alone.
I mean, sure.
I'm just gonna shrug. It's not my task.
I mean, sure, you can come with us. That's fine. I'm gonna look back at the unseen servant. So, do you remember taking the amulet from us at least, or like when you're unsummoned, do you just not remember anything?
I remember things.
Great. So you remember what you stole from us. Why?
I don't remember that.
I'm just gonna go up and be like, listen, here's the thing though. It's perfectly fine. Norok can just carry him when we get to Corzanalis. We'll just hang out with him. We'll keep him there with us. If he changes his mind, he wants to tell us some things, he can change his mind.
I mean, I'm up for that.
And then worst case scenario, Norok can.
You cut out there, Justin, but I imagine it was something violent there at the end. Worst case scenario, Nora could just.
Oh, that's a fun spot. Yeah, I said eat him. I could have gone with many other things.
Yeah, I mean,
a horrible time for it to cut
leaving the verb questionable, it makes it extra funny. Norok, there's a moment that passes in your mind that you realize that unseen servants don't need to breathe, they don't need to eat or anything like that, and you do have containing mechanisms if you so chose.
Yes, I was thinking we could just put him in the bag, right?
Zip that shit shut, you get out.
I mean, yeah.
We just have to make sure we look at both of his hands and possibly his feet when he leaves, because he might have sticky fingers and things.
And he is invisible, yeah. So
as he leaves. So
he did already go in that bag once and steal something out of it. So if you're going to put him back in
there, he's going to fuck with everything.
But in the bag of holding, stuff is kept like separate, right?
Yeah,
like it's not all a jumbled mess.
Yeah.
Okay.
As a reminder there, because that was a while ago, of course. As a reminder there, that meant that he knew exactly what he was going for. Because you can't, when you have a bag of holding, you can't just reach in and just rifle around and grab things. You have to know what you're trying to pull out, unless you turn it inside out, which he did not do. So meaning that he knew exactly what was in it when he pulled it out. So he knew what was in it when he stole that one amulet. It wasn't an accident.
And Ozzy's the one who gave us the bag.
Good point.
Who gave us the amulet? So maybe Ozzy knew about the amulet. He's like, oh, I'm going to get that amulet. And then I'm going to put on too much cologne.
I think we found the amulet in one of our adventures in, whatchamacallit?
Babysitting?
Dungeons or runes, etc., etc.
Wasn't it? Didn't we get it under like Dunskathak or something?
I think it
down
was.
there?
I think it was when you got the broom and everything. Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
So just as a quick reminder yes. So you did find it then. Very soon after you found it is when that robbery happened. Like very soon. It was within a couple of days that happened.
And you
Okay,
wouldn't
then
have
we-
told Ozzy, so in theory, he knows what's in the bag.
So maybe Ozzy wanted that so that Corazanthos couldn't know where he was. Maybe Ozzy is right here, and I'm just gonna turn around and grab him in the air.
You spin around, and there is a wet splat inside of your hand as you realize that you just grabbed what it was a giant flying like mosquito-like bug that is now.
Oh,
you know,
fuck! No one tell
thoroughly
the
coating your
big
hand.
guy with the shovel. No one tell the big guy with the shovel. That was an accident.
Situation, you guys analyze it however you choose. You were given a bag of holding that had some contents in it already. Like I said, the only way that you know what the entire contents are if you don't know the specific object is to empty it. You have to turn the bag inside out. Then sometime later, weeks later, you acquired this amulet and put it in the bag, and then it was immediately stolen from you. And that's where we left off. And this unseen servant is the one that did the stealing. So with that information, I'm going to go ahead and give you guys this so you can choose if you want to give it to anyone. The token that Dalamar, I almost called him Dalaran, gave you is this. I'll put it in Discord, then you guys can decide if anybody wants to use it, because it does require attunement. Make sure I got all the details. I did. The formatting's messed up, but that's it right there. He was using it. He was trying to use it for clairvoyance, but the unseen servant and other creatures in the woods here have been distracting him and keeping him from finding where he was trying to go. That said, after grabbing the unseen servant, I'm just going to, like I said, you guys can discuss what you want to do with him further after that. But you make your way further into the woods with Dalamar going with you. And did I mess that up? I might have messed that up. Hang on. Yeah, I did. All right, let me see if I can maybe just remove that one. Can I delete it? I think I can delete it. There we go. All right, so further in the woods, route continues winding in Wittershins for what seems like an hour or so, with Dalamar following behind you, until the distinct whir of recondite energy can be heard in the distance. Around another bend, the path ends at this massive living archway of tangled roots that have this like vines and bark all etched into the arch above it, and the shifting ancient glyphs carved into it. And there's a misty magical barrier that hums in the air in the middle of this arch that is clearly intending to bar entry. The forest's magic here is palpable, and it's old, and it's subtle, and you feel like you're being watched from all directions. And amusingly, for those of you that may have recently crushed bugs, the towering groundskeeper is standing off to the side of the arch, off to the side of the clearing there, with this his massive broken shovel that's just planted into the dirt like a staff, and he's just observing silently. And that is where we will leave off. You guys can decide what you want to do with the information you have, if you guys want to discuss in Discord or whatever. But we will wrap up there for tonight. How does the 26 look for everybody?
We're good.
Good.
I